In this video, I'm going to share with you the exact strategy that I used to generate over 200K for this e-commerce client and over a 1000% return on advertising spend within a 30-day period. And I'm going to break it down into 3 simple pillars because really the strategy we're using here is very simple, but it works very, very well. We're using this across multiple clients and all of them have got fantastic results. So I'm going to break it down for you in a very easy to understand way, so you can literally just copy it and implement it into your own Google Ad account. And I'm going to start by talking about standard shopping. You might be thinking, okay, if we're spending close to 20K a month, why are we still using standard shopping? And it's a good question, okay? But if you've used a Google advertising account and you're familiar with the way in which Performance Max works, you'll know that it can be very restrictive in the insights that you're actually able to see. In some senses, people regard it or comment on it as being a black box, okay? And people say that because Google has the insights and it has the information there, it just chooses to restrict what you can see, which in many instances is just crazy, right? Because if we could actually see more, we could perhaps optimize the Performance Max campaign a little bit better. Now, you can install scripts to pull more insights from inside of PMax, and I'll talk more on that in a moment. But why standard shopping? Well, the reason we choose standard shopping is because we have more control and we have more access to insights that we wouldn't otherwise get from Performance Max campaigns. A lot of the time, if you do install a script on the Performance Max or on a Performance Max campaign, you'll notice that a lot of the spend, typically in e-com, is dedicated towards the shopping network anyway. Okay, so by having a standard shopping campaign set up, we can ensure that the majority of our spend goes to where is working, which in this instance is, of course, the shopping network. 77% of our revenue, of that 200K, was generated by our standard shopping campaigns on the shopping network. Okay, so clearly the strategy works. Now, I'm not opposed to PMax, and I'll talk more on that after I've gone through scripts, rules, and automation. But the majority of these results were generated by standard shopping campaigns. And how do we do it? Okay, we use scripts, rules, and automation to maximize our return on investment. So we don't just use one standard shopping campaign. No, we actually have 5, and we move products in between campaigns and segment them based on performance, which means we can dynamically make bid adjustments in real time whilst leveraging scripts. This eliminates time delay and human error. Let me show you what this looks like inside one of our scripts. So this is one of the scripts that we're leveraging. And when I said there are 5 different campaigns, you can see these here: under index, no index, near index, index, and over index. 5 campaigns, all on the shopping network, all standard shopping. Now, what we do inside of this script is we set our target ROAS. In this particular instance, the target ROAS that we've gone with is indicated by the index. And then you have another category, which is over index. So that's anything above your key performance indicator. And then you have near index, which is any products that are performing close to your index, and then no index and under index. And essentially what this allows us to do is move products dynamically using scripts into different campaigns where we're bidding more aggressively for products that are overperforming or less aggressively for products that are underperforming. So it allows us to do this dynamically. Say a product converts very, very well, and all of a sudden you're way above KPI, you're at a 12x ROAS, and maybe your target is 10. You can bid more aggressively immediately using this script, which will bring it back down closer to 10. The same way if a product is underperforming, this script will decrease the bid and bring it closer towards the KPI. Now, if this is all a little bit confusing and you want a better breakdown on exactly how we do this, I break this down and teach it inside of the Google Ads Ecom Academy, where inside of the classroom section, you'll notice we have many different segments: marketing fundamentals, campaign mastery, optimization masterclass, and the likes. Inside of campaign mastery, you can see I break down each of the different campaign types. There are over 50 videos in here, guys, going through standard shopping, Google search, display network, Performance Max. We really do cover absolutely everything. And then inside of the bonus material, this is where I break down how to use software and scripts that give you an unfair advantage over your competitors. So if you are interested in learning more about this strategy that we're using and exactly how we implement, I break it down for you in a lot more detail inside of my closed community. Alternatively, if you think this sounds great and you just want me to implement it for you inside of your Google advertising account, I'll leave a link in the description and you can book a call to apply to work with me. So that's how we leverage scripts, rules, and automation. Now, what do we do with PMax? So as I said, 77% of the revenue was attributed to standard shopping, 23% is search and performance max. So at what point do we implement PMax and why? Well, it's great to test alongside standard shopping, okay? Performance max has the ability of being really quite good at new customer acquisition. Obviously, with standard shopping, we're limited only to the shopping network, which if it's working well, great. I wouldn't recommend just throwing all of your products and all of your assets into PMax if you don't have proof of concept on the dedicated networks. Where we have standard shopping working very well is in one particular country. Now, what we did for this particular client was we set up a PMax campaign. We took all of their performing assets, copy and headline from Meta, and fed that to Google to fill up the display, demand gen, and YouTube networks. And we also took what we'd already found to work well inside of the Google ad account from our standard shopping data and also some search text campaigns that we were leveraging. And we obviously put those into PMax as well. We used them as search themes to target, as well as a few other different ways in which we leveraged existing audiences. So PMax can work very well when you have a lot of data inside of the account. In this instance, you can see that we do. We've been managing ads for this client for, I believe, 17 months now, maybe 18 months, and spend has been fairly consistent. Over time, ROAS has gone up and up and up. When we first onboarded this client, they had a 600% return on ad spend. You can see now we're operating at a 1000% return on ad spend. So ROAS has come up consistently, near enough month over month. And when we're using PMax, in this particular instance, we decided to test in a different country. This particular client wanted to scale horizontally. So we set up a PMax campaign. As I mentioned, we took all of the assets that had performed well on Meta, leveraged them inside of PMax, and we used all of the information inside of our Google advertising account already to test a new location. So you can see here, I've said assist, not replace. Personally, I would never take this standard shopping campaign and turn it into a PMax campaign when we already have proof of concept here. But when it comes to testing a new location alongside standard shopping, great, let's do it. And it worked very well. We've got some great results testing in another location for this particular client. So like I said to you guys at the start of this video, really we're generating results using 3 key pillars, and it is that simple. Standard shopping with scripts, rules, and automation, and then leveraging performing or top performing assets inside of PMax and scaling horizontally. And it really is that simple, guys. You don't need to overcomplicate what you're doing inside of a Google advertising account. If you see accounts with 10, 15, 20 different campaigns, it's just unnecessary. Copy this strategy and no doubt you'll do very, very well.